clutch 3 of the year, guys. This is our Enchi Clown Girl, bred to our Desert Ghost Pastel Pinstripe Yellow Belly Het Pied male. As you see, she's got a clutch under her. She's got a couple rollouts back there. She's also our most feisty snake, so this should be fun. We're not going to record this because this is going to take 2 of us, and we will be back here in a second. As you see, as she is right at me. We'll be back here in a second and see how many times we got bit and how many eggs we got. Okay, so we had 10 eggs from her. Unfortunately, we had 3 slugs. She's a first-year girl, so I'm not too worried about that. 2 rollouts, the ones with ours, they're near the top, and 5 more for a total of 7 eggs. So 1 really bad boob egg here on that end, and a little bit of boob on one of the rollouts, so I'm not too worried about. But so we'll see how many of these go full term. Hopefully all of them, but you know, big boob egg, some rollouts, we'll see. But 7 eggs, even from a first-year girl, even with the 3 slugs, is really good. A 10-egg clutch, and you know, hopefully with the years to go on, she'll continue to put out at least 10 eggs, if not more, each year. That's a success to us. So we will get these in the incubator and see you in 55 days. All right, guys, day 55 on this one. This is our Enchi Clown Girl to our Lemonblast Yellow Belly Desert Ghost Het Pied male. So as far as recessives, everything is double het, clown, Desert Ghost, 50% Het Pied. So could be triple recessive stuff, but for now, I'm just saying that for all of them, so I don't need to keep saying it. Let's get these open and see what codoms we hit. All right, let's start with the 2 that look the worst, and we'll work our way across. These guys look pretty rough. Actually, you know what? I'm going to save that one till last, actually. We will come back to that one. All right, let's start with this guy. So this one had a huge window. Oh, that's no good. That's no good. I'm not going to open that one on camera, guys, because there is not a snake in there.
Oh.
I'm going to take a light to that one, but I don't think that one developed, unfortunately. So I'm not going to open that on camera. But there's a snake in this one. I can feel him. All right. First one of the group. That is definitely pastel. I would say maybe Enchi, definitely pastel. And yellow belly is hard to tell, especially until you get them out. But maybe pastel Enchi yellow belly, maybe. Fantastic.
Plus, you guys know our track record for doing this.
So. Oh, yeah, you know that I'm going to get it wrong. But I definitely would say pastel, and that looks Enchi to me. Those 2 I'm pretty confident about.
It definitely looks pastel from my point of view.
Yeah, it definitely looks pastel, and the pattern's all whack, too, so I think that's an Enchi. All right, and then this looks to be...
It has a little bit more of an Enchi look, but again, I'm going through the camera.
I don't... Yeah, I see the pattern looks all whack on that one too. I'd say Enchi. Again, I don't know if that's yellow belly or not, but that looks Enchi too. You can really tell, like right here. You really see that pattern is all whacked out there. So that I would say is Enchi as well. Move this one a little bit out of the way. All right, next one. Not complaining about any of these. You know, this is an exciting clutch, being double het clown and Desert Ghost and 50% het pied. We will definitely be looking for some pied tracks on these, hopefully. Which is not, you know, 100%, but you never know. Oh, that's a gorgeous animal. I can see it already.
Oh, wow.
So that is...
It's got some pinstripe in there, isn't it?
Pinstripe. Maybe Enchi. Pastel. That looks very pastel. It looks really light. Mm-hmm. So maybe a pastel Enchi pinstripe? Maybe?
Maybe. Pinstripe's my fave.
I definitely see that pinstripe pattern being a little more broken up, so I could definitely see that being an Enchi pinstripe and not just a straight pinstripe. All right. That's so far so good. I like what we're seeing here. Lots of Enchi stuff, which actually is really what we were hoping for, is to get some more Enchi stuff. Believe it or not, that Enchi girl is the only Enchi in our collection.
You know what? You're right.
That is true. That is true. It's hard to believe. It was
her first year.
Yeah, but we've bred her last year too, and she didn't go. So let's see. That is another pinstripe.
Very light, or at least in the camera.
Very light, but hard to tell. Another pinstripe. And I don't know. Until we get that one out, I'm not sure. There's a big difference between those two pinstripes, but I think the front one's the pastel. I don't know. It's hard to tell with only being able to see a little bit of it. But it doesn't look like it has a punch of pinstripe in certain spots too. It could also be Enchi. Listen, if we smack the Enchi off, that'd be fantastic. Alright, this is the last one I'm going to cut on camera, guys. Because that other one, like I said, I don't feel snake in. So I have a feeling that one did not go term. I do feel a little snake in this one. It's a tiny little egg. It is a tiny, tiny little egg. There we go. Sorry, this egg's kind of a little tighter too, I think, because it's tiny, so I don't want to snip the baby. Here we go. Alright. Let's see what's in this egg. I'm going to cut this one a little odd because of the spot on the boob spot on the end. But what do we got? Another pinstripe. Definitely. Very light. Maybe a pastel pinstripe. And who knows what else, but definitely pinstripe. So really good odds on that, actually. You know? It's, we might have one single gene pinstripe in there, but I'm not sure that we actually do. Then we might at least hit 2 genes on all of them, which is pretty good. No complaints there. Alright guys, that does it for the cutting for this clutch. We will be back in once they shed out to give you our first look at what we think they are, and go
from there.
Go from there. Thanks everybody. Be right back. Alright guys, post shed on clutch number 3. As a reminder, these are just our first quick initial genetics things, though this one wasn't as quick. So everything here is 100% het clown, 100% het desert ghost, 50% het pied. So I'm not going to say that for everyone. We got no normals, which is nice. We got 1 Enchi. We got, come here. We got 1 pastel Enchi yellow belly, really pretty. Some really nice flaming coming up the sides and the blacks. So I got to wrangle snakes with the other hand. Really, really gorgeous. And you really tell the nice belly on that one too. Really pretty. Then we had 3 pinstripes. We had some odd things going on with this pinstripe. So I'd like to point out the head pattern on that one. Can you? You're kind of
zoom in, but I'm in the light.
You're kind of in the light. Can you see it? Yeah, what about that? So that head pattern really threw us off. And even the head pattern on these other 2, though they're kind of similar, kind of threw us off as well. So we reached out to the male, of course, is the male we've bred a whole bunch of times. So not too concerned about what extra might be in him. But the female, the clown, the Enchi clown female, this is her first year. So we reached out to the guy who we bought her from like 3 years ago. And he was able to come back and say, you know, tell us what genetics were in the pairing. There's only other genetic really in there is banana, so that really doesn't throw anything. But he did say both himself and other people have noticed that the male, the banana Enchi clown that was the father of our female, has been throwing some weird stuff, and his babies have been throwing weird stuff. And he actually sent me a picture of a clutch that he just had, and there were some odd things in there. So honestly, I'm not sure exactly what we have extra going on here. If you have any ideas, what could be producing that head pattern, clearly the only things that could be in here from what we know are Enchi, yellow belly, pastel, and pinstripe. Clearly this is a pinstripe, for sure. If we look at this pinstripe, that's definitely a pinstripe Enchi. You can tell from the real reduced pinstriping pattern. I would say this is a pinstripe Pos Enchi. It could just be a low expression Enchi. And then this is a pinstripe, probably not Enchi. Probably
back
not.
out
But I'm
on
really
it.
not sure, to be honest with you, because the head pattern really throws everything off. So assuming that this one with the really odd head pattern is the only one of the three that's not Enchi, the only other options would be pastel and yellow belly, and clearly that head pattern is not a pastel yellow belly. Now, it could be all the hets throwing some influence in there, but again, we did see stuff from the father of the mother of this clutch, and definitely he throws some weird things, and we're not the only one seeing the weird things from that. So if you have any thoughts on what these three could be, because even this head pattern with the dot and the strong dot in the middle, which this one, of course, balled up, but has pretty much the exact same head pattern. It's not typical of like an Enchi pinstripe or a yellow belly pinstripe or a yellow belly Enchi pinstripe. They don't really look pastel. So we are open to thoughts. If you have any thoughts on what might extra be in there, one of the things that me and the owner of the male from the female that produced this talked about was the kind of some of the things look leopardish that he's producing, and I agree that I saw some stuff that he produced look leopard. If you look at the head pattern on that one, maybe you could argue it looks slightly pinstripe leopardy, but it's not a pinstripe leopard. That the pinstriping is not right for it. So I'm not sure. We definitely know that this is a pinstripe Enchi. That's certain. The other two, I don't know. I don't know what they are. If you have any thoughts.
Pinstripe of sorts.
Yeah, they're pinstripes, clearly. But if you have any thoughts, ideas, what they might be, please feel free to reach out to us. We could use any help on identifying those that we can get. Otherwise, that's kind of it for this video. So here's the results of that clutch. Again, everything you see here is also double het, clown, desert ghost, and 50% het pied. So we will be checking on these, getting a meeting, checking sexes, and then figuring out what we're keeping and what we're selling. So with that, I think that's it for this video, guys. Like, comment, subscribe, all the YouTube stuff, and we'll see you next week.